Hi everyone, this is Dr. Garrett Smith of nutritionrestored.com, and today I'm going to be going over in this little video how to properly do your hair sample. Okay, this is a very important process. You're doing a medical test at home. You're getting the sample for a medical test at home. So I want to emphasize that this is something you can do, you can handle this, and it's really important that you do it right. Okay, so we don't want to screw this up. There are ways you could screw it up. This shouldn't scare you from doing it, but I need you to take it seriously, and we do things in a very specific way so you can do it right, so you can get the best results possible, okay? So first thing I wanted to go over is we send you an instruction sheet, okay? It's from us. You follow our instructions, okay? You don't watch somebody else on the internet. I don't care what you read on the internet. There are people out there who do hair analysis who give bad advice on how to take the hair sample, and you don't want to do that. So we give our advice because that's how we want you to do the test. I've been doing the hair tests probably more than anybody else for about 5 years now, so we know how to get good tests, and we want you to do it correctly. So please follow our instructions. We have stuff in here about, okay, I'm going to go through this. Actually, I'm just going to go through this whole thing. When taking your hair sample, make sure your hair is clean, as in just shampooed and dry and free of any product, such as hairsprays, gels, leave-in conditioners, etc. I want to tell you, if you go and you shower in the morning and you go work out and you get all sweaty, your hair is not just shampooed anymore. It's not clean anymore. You got sweat in it, okay? You put products in it. You put any of that stuff in it, and your hair is not clean anymore. I want clean hair. You wash your hair. You get it dry enough. Dry. If you want to get the test right, you want dry hair. And then you're going to take the sample, okay? Don't get it. Like, as an example, you go and you sweat a bunch into your hair, because you think, oh, it's still clean, I didn't put anything in it. You just put a bunch of sodium in your hair, okay? Then you're going to affect the hair test. So don't do that. Clean hair, just shampooed, needs to be as dry as possible because wet hair weighs more. And we're trying to get a weight of a sample, so if you put wet hair on the scale, it's going to weigh more, and you're not going to send in enough hair, and then you're going to have to do the whole thing again. So you want to not do wet hair. Or if you're going to do wet hair, you better send in a bunch extra, more than you need. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm saying if you're going to, there's a saying that I heard from this one guy. He said, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. Well, if you're going to be dumb about your hair test and you might have to do it again, then you're going to have to be tough. So we'd like to do it right the first time, right? Next. Hair must be washed a minimum of 8 times with shampoo. Washing your hair means washing your hair. You don't, if somebody says, well, I washed my hands, and you said, did you use soap? And they go, no. Then you rinsed your hands. Washing your hair, we're talking about after any hair coloring or treatment. Okay, after any hair coloring or treatment, I want a minimum of 8 shampoos or soaps, whatever you use in your hair, something that is cleansing in your hair. No coconut oil is not going to get any of the stuff out of your hair that we're after here. If you're going to color your hair, you need 8 shampoos or 8 soap washings after the coloring before you take a hair sample, okay? So the reason I'm doing this video is because we've had lots of people not follow our instructions. And so if I sound like I'm a little like we've dealt with a lot of mess ups in hair tests, it's because we have, and I'm trying to help you avoid that, okay? Next, shampoo or wash the hair twice, 2 times, twice before the hair sample is taken, okay? So we need 2 shampoos, so you wash it. You know, it says rinse, wash, you know, lather, rinse, and repeat. That's what we're saying here. You're going to wash, you're going to rinse, you're going to wash again, you're going to rinse. Then that part is done. Okay? Shampoo or wash hair twice before the sample is taken. That's what we're talking about there. Next, the very final rinse of the hair should be done thoroughly with distilled, deionized, or reverse osmosis water. I want almost all the water supplies you're going to have running in your house have minerals in them. By doing this, what we call the final clean rinse of your hair, so you've washed it twice, you've rinsed it with your shower water, then you're going to have a jug of distilled, deionized, or reverse osmosis water to do the final rinse. I want mineral-free water doing the final rinse so we don't have extra minerals in your hair, okay? So there's that. Then you're done in the shower. So don't go putting your hair back in the shower water. You've just done the clean rinse. Now's the time to get out, okay? Then we go following the instructions on the blue scale. This is a hair scale. I'm going to show you how it works. Following the instructions on this, you are going to ensure your sample is sufficient in weight. Look at this. See that there's these points on the sides? There's two little lines that run down the length of it. We're going to fold it where it says fold here. We're going to fold both sides. This is an ingenious little hair scale, so you can have a scale that can weigh the amount of hair you need. It's going to sit on your counter. I'll use this. It's going to sit like this on your counter, something flat and smooth. When, see this little box for the hair? Place complete hair specimen within the borders of this box. There's a box right there. Your hair has to fit lengthwise in that box. Let's just say this was a piece of hair. This is too long, doesn't fit in the box. If the hair was this long, it would fit in the box, okay? This is like 1.5 inches, maybe about 5 centimeters, something like that. Fits, it goes this way. I don't care if it's short. I don't care if the hair sample is shorter. Imagine if I took my hair sample, it's gonna be short. It needs to not be longer. You send in too long a piece of hair, or if you're lazy and you just send in the whole, like you have long hair, and you send in a whole piece of hair like this, thinking, oh, that'll be enough hair. Totally enough hair. It's not going to be enough of the hair piece that we want, the short piece that comes off your head, okay? And we're not going to send in the sample because it's not going to work. Don't be lazy and send us the whole piece of hair that is like long hair, because then we don't know which end it is, which end is your head end and which end is the end, the split end type end, okay? So then we go to, let me just check that I didn't miss anything. Okay. Where do we take the hair sample from? Hair sample means we want head hair sample. We can, the lab can use pubic hair or head hair. I'm going to tell you, if you want a good test, we only ever use head or pubic hair or armpit hair if we cannot absolutely get a head hair sample. So if you just think, I don't want to cut my head hair, I'd rather just use pubic hair or armpit hair, you're going to have a less useful test. If you want to spend all this money and get a less useful test, that is your prerogative. You can do that. You're doing a medical test at home. Most of the time, if you went into the doctor's office and they said, we need you to do it this way so we can get the best test, you'd probably go along with what they say. So if I say, we don't want the armpit hair or the pubic hair unless we absolutely cannot get a head hair sample, I mean we don't want those unless we cannot get a head hair sample. Okay? Next, we go to where to take the hair sample from. I call it the mullet area. Okay? It is from the crown of your head. If you drew a line down to your ears, it is the back part of your head. Back behind your head, where my hands are. Okay, see that? This area, the mullet area. That's where you take the samples from. You usually, I mean, you can do one giant chunk, then you might have a big old spot on your head, or you can, what I do when I take hair samples for people, I do it a bunch of little spots. So each spot doesn't have a big chunk, okay? So the more spots you do, the smaller the spots, the more you're gonna have to do. The bigger the spots, the fewer you have to do, but then you're gonna have a bigger, area missing, okay? Let me see. Okay, this is a hair sample. It's not a hair root sample. I do not want you pulling your hairs out of your head. We have had people do this. It is not what we asked for. It is not what we want. We do not want the hair bulb, the hair root, okay? Don't pull your hair out by the roots. Let me see. The hair sample, once it's taken, so you've dried your hair, you've done the double shampoo, you make sure after you've had if you've had any hair color and you've done the 8 shampoos total after that, you do the double shampoo, you do the clean rinse, you make sure your hair is completely dry. Completely dry doesn't mean moist. Completely dry means dry, okay? Your hair is completely dry, you're ready to take the hair sample. You've not gone and worked out, you've not gone and sprayed a bunch of hairspray or put gel in your hair. You have clean, dry hair. You are going to find the areas on the mullet area, as I call it, back there. You're going to cut the hair sample. You're going to put it on the scale enough. You're going to put the hair on here until this on its own tips over. That's it. What I like to do to double check that I have enough hair that I didn't, because if you drop hair on it and it goes boom and it does this, that might not be enough weight. It was the momentum, it was the gravity that did it. So what I do is once you put enough hair on there that it tips over, I just lift it up one more time and see that it falls down again on its own. That means it's enough. So you've just double checked it. You've done a soft check. You lift it up so it's supported, then you let it go and it goes boom. If it doesn't tip over, then it's not enough. And for it to tip over correctly, the hair has to be in the box. This is a very rudimentary scale. It works properly when you use it right. The hair must be in this box. It must fit in the box. It needs to sit in the box, and then it tips over, okay? So this can go in the garbage once you're done. You've got the hair on here. We send you, this is the little hair envelope. This is not a mailing envelope. This is the hair sample envelope. You're gonna put the hair sample in this envelope, okay? If you are a return client, you are going to look at, for your hair test, let me find it. I don't have a hair test on me. On your hair test, at the upper right corner, it will say either lab number or client number. That's your personal number. You don't have one until you have done a test. So your first test, if you're a newbie, rookie, you don't have one of these. If you're a returning client, either we're gonna write this here for you or you're gonna write it here from your hair test upper right corner of the graph page, okay? Patient, you are going to write your name, the same name you write on this form, the name you want to go by. It doesn't matter if it's the name you're gonna go by in my office. Okay, I want one name, please. Don't put one name on your medical test and then have us go by a different name. That just makes everything more complicated. One name. Shampoo. If you use a dandruff shampoo, Selsun Blue, Head and Shoulders, there's even one mane and tail that has zinc in it. If you are using anything that is like anti-dandruff or a medicated shampoo, it is very important that you write it here. If you are just using a regular shampoo, you can just write regular. If I see stuff on your hair test that I think I'm gonna have to ask about, like your selenium's off the chart or your zinc's off the chart, I'm gonna ask you anyway. But just put, if it's a dandruff shampoo or if it's a medicated shampoo, I wanna know. If there's something that they brag about being in the shampoo, like a mineral, I wanna know that. So, or you just put the brand. I mean, you can put the brand or you can just put regular, but we wanna know what shampoo you're using. That's it. You lick it or get it wet, seal it up. This is just the hair envelope. You're not going to mail this by itself. You're going to put it in a bigger envelope. So toss the scale, garbage. This is the money envelope. This is what you need. This is the hair sample. So next thing we are going to, so that you can set this down now, this is the form. This is the lab form. This is how they keep track of you. This is important to fill out right. So, as you can see on here, there are highlighted areas. That's what we're asking you to fill out. If you say, well, this area is not highlighted, should I fill it out? No. This area is not highlighted. Don't fill it out. These are highlighted. Fill those out. This area is not highlighted. Don't fill it out. Okay? I want you to catch that. Julie highlights all of these for you. You fill out the highlighted areas only. Last name. Same name as on the envelope. Same name that you're going to go by in my office. First name, sex, age, occupation. They want occupation because they want to know, like, just 1 or 2 words for your occupation. They want to see if there's like occupations that are associated with like toxic poisonings and stuff like that. Okay, that's why they look for that. Ethnic origin. They want to know, you know, different ethnic origins, different races have different types of hair. They ask for it. Natural hair. If you didn't want to put it, I mean, it's not going to make or break anything. Natural hair color. Current medications. Medications means medications. Drugs. Not, yeah, I take vitamin C. Okay, no, they don't want that. That's not a medication. Medications means pharmaceuticals, okay? Type of sample. Scalp, which is what we want. That's the best test. Pubic hair. Axillaries, armpit. Other, I don't even want to know about any other hair samples. You know, pubic hair is enough. Okay. Shampoo and other hair preparations. What stuff do you put on your hair regularly, like shampoo, like dandruff shampoo? Selsun Blue is full of selenium. Head and Shoulders is full of zinc. And dyes. Usually with dyes, I don't care about the brand. They want to know what color it is. Here, was this sample collected in the state of New York? You cannot collect a hair sample in the state of New York. Which would mean that if somebody lived in New York and they wanted to collect a hair sample and mail it in, they would need to not be in New York when they take the hair sample and when they mail this. Do you understand what I'm saying? New York State doesn't allow you to do hair analysis. So if you live in New York and you want to do hair analysis, what do you need to do? You need to do it outside of New York. Okay? Please check 5 most predominant symptoms, clinical diagnosis only. 5 means 5, not 20. And if you don't have 5, then just mark what you got. Okay? If it's 1, then you mark 1. Predominant means the most, the ones that affect you the most. Okay? It doesn't mean every single one you've ever had in your life. The 5 current most predominant symptoms. This information doesn't actually come back to me. This is just for the lab to keep track of, to do their own little internal research. So this, I don't see this, and I never see this form again. So you're doing it for the lab, so please do it right. Now, the rest of this, do you see any highlighting? No, leave this alone. Highlighted parts, that's it. That's all you got to do. Don't start looking for more to do. Don't fill in parts that aren't highlighted, okay? 5 symptoms. Don't put 20, please. Doesn't help them, doesn't help me. Then, let's see, what else do we have? This is important to know. First, it takes 2 to 3 weeks from when you mail the hair sample for the hair analysis and their report to be sent to me. 2 to 3 weeks from when you mail it in. We need to do math here. So if you have an appointment in a week and you mail your hair sample in a week ahead of your appointment, do you think I'm going to have that hair analysis back in time for your appointment? The answer is no. It would be best if you did your hair sample 3 weeks to a month before your appointment is due, so we can make sure to have it. So we have it on hand, so we're not having to reschedule your appointment. As I get busy, sometimes if you miss an appointment, you might be waiting a month. We've had periods of time where people were waiting 5 months to get an appointment. You don't want to screw up your hair test and have to wait 1, 2, 3, 5 months to reschedule, okay? Because we're not just going to bump somebody else out just because you didn't get your hair test sent in on time, okay? So then, once we have all of this done, we are going to give you an envelope. We're going to send you an envelope, a normal size, you know, a normal sized envelope with this. You're going to fold this up, right? This is going to be all folded up. Got your hair sample. This goes in the envelope. It needs postage on it. It's not prepaid. You're going to put it in the envelope, put your return address on it, and you're going to mail it. Some of you may be mailing it directly to us. Some of you may be mailing it directly to the lab, okay? That's it. I know it seems like a lot, and you can listen to this video as many times as you need to. This is how we do it right. Other people can do it. You can do it. I have faith. Just read the instructions, follow the instructions. I know it'll seem a little stressful your first time because you want to get it. For those of you who want to get it right, you're going to want to get it right. And it's a little, you know, it's a lot of steps, but it's not that big a deal. Just read it about washing your hair. Read it about drying, you know, rinsing the hair, drying the hair, taking the hair sample. And that's it. So I think that is, let me just make sure. Oh, yes. Failure to provide a sufficient enough weight of a hair sample. So don't, especially for those of you who really love your hair, if you don't send enough in the first hair sample, you're going to have to do it again, which is even worse, right? Get the right amount of weight on this. Don't cheat it. It'd be better to send a little bit extra than not enough, okay? But don't send us the whole strands of hair. Then you're going to have to do it again for sure, because we don't know which end is which, and we want the head end. Oh, so just on that note, we only want the head end of the hair. We don't want the end. We don't want the end that's out here. We want the end that was right next to your head. But yeah, failure to provide a sufficient hair sample and all requested information. You fill out on here. Oh, you see that's highlighted? Will delay your test results as we may need to start over again and or reschedule your consultation. So I just told you why you don't want to do that. And on that form, there is Julie's email address and there is the number of the office. So you're gonna wanna, if you need help, call or email, okay? We're here to help you. This video is here to help you, so watch it again if you need to. And I think that's about it. So we're gonna be about done with that. I hope you guys feel like you can handle this now. And I hope to be talking to you soon on your consult about your hair test. Bye now.